Okay, imagine this. You're an ancient human. It's freezing. You haven't eaten in 2 days. Your stomach is screaming, and right in front of you lies a dead tiger. Hundreds of pounds of meat just sitting there. You'd eat it, right? I mean, food is food when you're starving. But here's the crazy part. For thousands of years, humans looked at that meat and walked away. We hunted deer. We hunted wild boar. We chased mammoths, animals 10 times more dangerous. But the tiger, the lion, the wolf, we mostly said, nah. And it wasn't just fear. It wasn't just, oh, tigers are scary. There's something way deeper going on here. Something hiding inside that meat that your ancestors somehow figured out without science, without labs, without a single doctor. So stick with me till the end, because the last part, it'll completely change how you think about ancient humans, and honestly, about your own body too. Let's get into it. First, let's clear something up. You might think, well, tigers are rare. Of course nobody ate them. But rewind, way back. Predators weren't rare at all. Ancient humans lived surrounded by them. Lions, wolves, big cats everywhere. These animals were part of daily life. So the question isn't, could we catch them? We could. We were clever. We had spears, traps, fire, teamwork. The real question is, why did we choose not to eat them? And here's where it gets wild. Reason number one, your ancestors were basically playing a game of hidden poison. See, there's this thing scientists call bioaccumulation. Sounds fancy, but it's simple. Think about it like this. A tiger eats a deer. That deer already had some junk in its body, tiny bits of parasites, metals, whatever it picked up eating grass and plants. Now the tiger eats that deer, then another deer, then a wild pig, then dozens more animals over its whole life. And every single time it eats, all that junk stacks up. It doesn't leave. It builds and builds and builds. So by the time a tiger is fully grown, its body is like a garbage bin that's been collecting trash for years. Everything those prey animals ever carried is now concentrated inside that one predator. Now compare that to a deer. A deer eats grass, just grass, clean, simple, bottom of the food chain. So if you're a hungry ancient human, which one's the safer bet? Exactly, the deer. And your ancestors didn't need a chemistry degree to figure this out. They just noticed. People who ate predators got sick more often, got parasites, sometimes died. And the ones who avoided that meat? They lived, they had kids, they passed on that instinct. Nature was basically running a slow, brutal experiment, and the answer got written into us. But wait, it gets better, because there's a second reason, and this one's pure genius, even if humans never said it out loud. It's all about energy, and I promise, this'll blow your mind. Picture a big field of grass. Say that grass holds 10,000 calories of energy. A cow comes along and eats it all. But here's the thing. The cow doesn't turn all of it into meat. Most of that energy gets burned just keeping the cow alive, walking, breathing, staying warm. So out of 10,000 calories of grass, you only get about 1,000 calories of actual beef. That's like a few steaks. 90% gone. Now watch what happens if you feed that beef to a tiger. The tiger eats those 1,000 calories. But again, most of it gets burned just keeping the tiger alive, hunting, running, being a powerful killing machine. So out of 1,000 calories of beef, the tiger only turns about 100 into tiger meat. Let that sink in. You started with 10,000 calories of grass, and by the time it becomes tiger meat, you're left with 100. You lost 99% of the energy. It's like burning your whole paycheck just to end up with pocket change. So for ancient humans, eating a predator was the worst deal in nature. Why spend all that effort, risking your life fighting a tiger for a tiny scrap of energy, when you could just eat the deer directly and get way more? Our ancestors weren't just brave, they were smart shoppers. They picked the food that gave the biggest bang for the buck. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Okay, but taste. Maybe tiger meat is delicious. Yeah, about that. Think about a predator's body. A tiger has to be fast, explosive, strong enough to take down animals bigger than itself. That means its muscles are dense, tough, lean, built for war, not for dinner. Compare that to a nice, lazy cow that spends all day just chewing grass. Soft, fatty, juicy. Predator meat? It's stringy. It's tough. And here's the kicker. It can taste bitter. And bitterness? That's a warning sign. Your tongue is literally wired to flag bitter tastes as danger, might be poison. That's an ancient survival alarm built into your mouth right now. So even your taste buds were saying, yeah, skip the tiger. All right, so we've got safety, we've got energy, we've got taste. But then something interesting happened. As humans grew up and built civilizations, we started turning these gut instincts into rules. Think about it. Some of the oldest cultures and religions actually banned eating predators. Certain traditions say, no animals with fangs, no animals with claws or talons, which basically wipes out every meat eater on the planet. Now, why would ancient people make a rule like that? Maybe because they saw what happened. Generation after generation, they watched. Eating predators made people sick. So they didn't just avoid it. They wrote it into law, into faith, into this is just who we are. That instinct that started as, this feels risky, slowly became, this is forbidden. A gut feeling turned into a sacred rule. And that rule, it's still shaping dinner tables today, thousands of years later. But here's a twist that'll mess with your head. Humans do eat some predators. We eat carnivorous fish all the time. Tuna, salmon, fish that hunt other fish. So why fish and not tigers? Simple. We don't farm those fish. We mostly just catch them from the ocean. So that whole wasting energy raising a predator problem doesn't really apply. The ocean does the raising for free. We just show up and scoop them out. But raising a tiger on a farm, feeding it tons of meat every single day just to get one tiny meal back, nobody in their right mind would do that. It's a losing game. So it's not that humans never touch predators. It's that we're weirdly, perfectly practical about which ones we bother with. And this brings us to the part I really wanted you to hear. Because when you step back and look at the whole picture, something amazing happens. Ancient humans didn't have science. They didn't know the word bioaccumulation. They couldn't measure calories. They'd never heard of parasites or heavy metals. And yet, they figured all of it out. They knew predator meat was dangerous, without a lab. They knew it was a bad energy deal, without doing the math. They knew it tasted wrong, because their bodies told them so. They read the world through trial, error, memory, and instinct. And they got the answer right. That's the real superpower of ancient humans. Not just strength, not just spears. It was this incredible ability to notice patterns, learn from what killed them, and pass that wisdom down, until it lived inside their descendants. And here's the part that should give you chills. That wisdom, it's still inside you. That little flicker of, no, when you imagine eating a tiger or a lion or a wolf, that's not random. That's not just culture. That's thousands of years of survival talking. Your ancestors paid for that instinct with their lives, so that you'd be born already knowing the answer. You didn't have to learn it the hard way. They did, for you. So the next time you feel that gut instinct, that little voice saying, something's off about this, don't ignore it, because that voice is ancient. It's been keeping humans alive for longer than we can even imagine. Your ancestors survived a world full of tigers, and the smartest thing they ever did was know exactly which tiger to leave alone. If this blew your mind, stick around, because the story of ancient humans is full of secrets like this. And trust me, the next one's even crazier.